This is Rachel Angelized Watkins reporting live from the original Metroflex sponsored Ronnie Coleman Classic. And I have here the owner and founder of the original Metroflex, Brian Dobson. Brian, thank you for allowing us to come in.
Of course, we're glad to have you here. When Rachel comes in to work out at the Metroflex Arlington, I'm typically working on this or one of the other shows. I'll start Monday for this one for next year. You know, it's a lot to put on all this. I mean, as we go around, we have jiu-jitsu tournaments, CrossFit, strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling, grappling, many other side events, the vendors and so on and so forth. And of course, the NPC athletes, bodybuilding, bikini, fitness, figure, classic physique and physique. And, you know, you got to promote every day. You got to do something, you know, to keep it going. And, you know, it's obviously it comes to a peak on a day like this. For me, really, when I get to this point, it's almost easier. I mean, pretty much I'm a solo effort until this point, and then I have a big team of people come in and help me. So, and
do you attribute a lot of this to teamwork, good teamwork, solid teaming, or is it just you've been at it for so long that it just runs itself like a machine?
It doesn't run itself, but I mean, I do pretty much everything until this last week, and which is, you know, that's just the way it is. I mean, I'm a promoter. We do this and 2 other shows, the Branch Warren Classic in Houston, the Texas Legends in Dallas, and they're all very similar to this, you know, trade shows, what are you going to call them, fitness trade shows. But, you know, it's a combination effort at the end. I'm very blessed to have a lot of good helpers, you know.
Do you have an athlete that you personally train participating in this classic?
I don't have any that I actually personally train. We have ones from the gym. There's people that I've advised. As a promoter, I find it's better for me not to train people for the events that I promote, because when they win, then people find out, well, Brian trained that guy, and then they get angry. I mean, I was a competitor from the time I was 17 until I was 45 years old, and the worst I ever got was the 4th place. That was one time. All the rest were 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. And if I got 3rd or 2nd, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be angry. You know, I'm going to be mad. And you got to have somebody to blame. So if I was the guy who got 2nd to somebody I trained, I'd be like, well, that's why, because that son of a gun was trained by Brian, and that's why he won. And, you know, this is not an objective sport like ultimate fighting, where you can knock someone out, or where you're in powerlifting where you lift a weight. You know, if you lift a weight clean, you lift it and you win. You know, you knock somebody out in that type of fight, you knock them out, you win. If you're playing baseball, you hit a home run and that gives you a lead, you win. Here, you have opinions of people. Sometimes those opinions go along with what your body looks like. Sometimes they don't. You know, it's very different with me, with the judges. We try very hard to have very fair judging. As long as they are consistent across the board, like if they're looking for a very lean look, as long as that's the way it goes all the way across, I'm fine with it. If it goes, okay, we got a really lean guy, now we got a guy that's kind of full, bigger, but not near as lean and ripped, I have a problem with that. But it's not an easy job. They don't get paid much money. It's kind of, most of them are ex-competitors or themselves. So, you know, it's not easy. What I tell people when they lose, just go back and train harder. I mean, it gave me a lot of, when I would get 2nd place, there were times I would literally leave this venue or whatever venue we were at, go to the gym, open the doors, and train till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. That's after a loss.
Yeah, to work on what the judges told me I lost on. You know, so, you know.
This event is a national qualifier. What does that mean for the young ladies and men who are on the stage?
Okay, a national qualifier means they're allowed to go to a pro qualifier if they place the top 2 in their class. At a pro qualifier, if you win, you can become an IFBB pro athlete, and if, like in bodybuilding, that would entitle you to possibly one day do what Ronnie did and become Mr. Olympia. You know, it's still not an easy path. For a bodybuilder, it's really hard. For some of the other things like bikini and so on, it's a little bit easier. There's a lot more classes. Used to be top 5 for them, would get nationally qualified, but now everybody's top 2. So it's made the game tougher for everybody, which is good. I mean, it was too easy for a while for me. I mean, when I was in it, not only did you had to win it the overall.
Right.
You didn't win. You didn't get top 5 in your class to get a pro card, or then they changed to top 2, but you basically had to win it. So basically you'd have like 4 pros a year instead of, I don't know, man, 200 a year like we have now.
Every year, you, by being the owner of the original Metroflex, home of Mr. Ronnie Coleman, do you feel that there's a standard you should uphold every year as a hardcore iron mecca of the world? You have people come in from around the world to your gym. What does it say about you and the standard that you set?
Well, I mean, we're very blessed to have people come from all around the world. And we had some guys come from Sweden to compete in this. Pretty much, I don't know if it's every day, but nearly every day, someone comes and visits the gym to do, just to come see it. They may be just in town to Dallas for a convention or something, but like, hey, I'm from Florida. I had to come to the original Metroflex Gym and train. So, very, very blessed by that. Very lucky. We obviously keep it very hardcore down there. And all the Metroflex gyms that are licensed by us are all hardcore. I mean, they all have it. Some have some other things, and as long as they have that hardcore training area, I don't care if they have Zumba classes over in a room on the other side. That's fine. As long as we have our hardcore area, we're good, man.
Absolutely. Brian, thank you so much for stopping in and talking with Angel Eyes Watkins. And as always, be blessed in Jesus' name.